Hey man, he Brian Baby Loud coming back at you with another edition of this Boomer's Logic, man. I wanted to rap at y'all, man, for a minute about something I remember that occurred when I was in USP Atlanta. It was like 2014, 2016 this happened. But before we get into it, man, if you haven't already, go to the channel, Boomer's Logic, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, tell a friend to tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? That will take you but a hot second to do it, man. And I would greatly appreciate it. It's crazy. It's election day. I don't keep up with this. I don't vote or anything. My wife just called me and reminded me. I said, "This what?" She was like, "It's election." I said, "Oh man, I didn't know." But anyway, I digress on that point. So when I was incarcerated in Atlanta, USP Atlanta, right in the heart of Atlanta, in 2014 or 2016, there was a heat wave that occurred for 30 days. Now, if you are familiar with Georgia weather, like they got a demonic type of heat. Like it's a different type of heat down there in Georgia. It's different from anywhere in the country, man. I'm telling you, it's brutal. And I've been to Florida, I've been to Arizona. The only place I haven't been is California. All the places that are professed to be hot outside of Texas. Man, listen. That Georgia heat is something different. And so just imagine 30 days of temperatures 100 plus. For 30 straight days now, no rain, 100 plus days for 30 days straight. Now, why do I point this out? Because on the news, you know, they had the heat advisory, but they were also on the news about 3 or 4 times. They talked about a story that was going on down in Atlanta in the midst of this heat wave, that it was 3 or 4 public schools in the inner city. I think it was 4, but I'm for sure that it was 3 public schools in the inner city who did not have air conditioning. In the midst of a heat wave, 100 plus degrees every day, these inner city schools, black schools, were without air. Now, mind you, this is going on in Atlanta. You know, the place that y'all boast about being Black Hollywood, having the most millionaires and all this stuff here, right? Y'all boast about this. You're riding around in your Benzes and your Bentleys. You're living above your means. You're living in these, living up in Buckhead. No, you can't afford it. You're living in these palatial estates, and you know, you got your mega rock star preachers down there, black. You got all your entertainers. You know, what's his name? You got T.I. You got what's his name? Usher. It's just a bunch of black entertainers down there. And amidst all of this, nothing was done for those schools, right? Amidst this heat wave. Now, how do I know it was a heat wave? Because it was on the news almost every day. They were talking about the fact that these children did not have air conditioning. It was on NPR constantly. And my point for bringing this up is that in a city, in a black city that boasts of what they have and what they doing, you could not campaign. Reason I'm using that word, you couldn't campaign and start a movement to gather up a few $1 million, man, to go take care of this issue that's happening right in your community. It's in your community. It's nobody else's community. Wasn't going on in Buckhead, wasn't going on in any of those predominantly white communities, because of the simple fact that those white leaders would have came together and said, no, this has to be fixed, right? So while you got your mega rock star preachers getting up in the pulpit every Sunday demanding money for their jets, they're not getting in the pulpit demanding money for the congregation, saying, hey, we got to go fix this problem that's right there in the community. You didn't have Ludacris and all these jokers getting on the radio because they stayed on the radio, getting on the radio and say, hey, man, we got to fix this problem. This is what's going on. And I know they had to know because, hell, I was in prison and I knew. So my thing pointing this out or talking about this is because here of late and on the heels of this election, I've been hearing a lot of these bougie Negroes, Ricky Smileys and D.L. Hughley's, and these jokers going on radio bragging about how, they campaigned and, we did it and we raised all these millions and hundreds of millions of dollars in the black community to get her in the White House, get Kamala Harris into the White House. Y'all will go out and break your neck for any other culture, any other nationality. You will break your necks to do something for somebody else, but you will not break your neck for your own. You will not break your neck for your own. The reason that I believe that these people are in place, that they call them plants now, are in place is to keep you focused on the other things that you shouldn't be focused on, is to follow this society. These preachers, they're up in the pulpit pushing and promoting the wrong things. Like I say, the black church used to be the cornerstone of the black community, and if something like this was going on, the black community could go to the church, have a town hall meeting about it, and get it resolved, get it fixed. The church is not even good for that anymore. You had Eddie Long was alive at the time. He never addressed it. You had Creflo Dollar. You had all these multi-millionaire preachers who were not addressing this. But they'll stand in front of you. And this was right around the time where Creflo Dollar told his congregation that he needed, $5 million or $500 million, something ridiculous for a new jet. This man was campaigning for a jet, but would not get up there and beat the drum for the children, the kids now, the kids in his community. And y'all are such hypocrites, man. Y'all are so delusional that y'all sit and y'all listen to these people, man. But they don't have your best interest. They don't have your community's best interest at heart. You know what I'm saying? You got the Ricky Smileys and the D.L. Hughley's and these particular types of people getting up there, beating this drum, playing this flute, that the powers that be want them, the message that they want put out there. Once again, Ricky Smiley was on the radio when I was down there in Atlanta, Georgia. There was some other popular person that used to be on the radio down there at the time, black, but they never talked about that. Why? Why did they not talk about it's a heat wave in Columbus, in Georgia, and 3 or 4 of our schools don't have air? Because the media, the powers that be, do not want you directing your energies towards what's going on in your community. They just don't. But when they have an agenda and they want you to get out there and promote something, they'll put it in front of you and you'll read it off just like a parrot. And then just like the Pied Piper, they'll get to blowing the flute, and all you other blacks will fall right in line and follow. It sickened me when I've been listening for the last week about these people bragging about raising all this hundreds of millions of dollars for this woman's campaign, but your own communities are in dire straits. Y'all won't even come together and raise, $100 million and pump it into the economy in your own community. You won't do that because you've been granted a meal ticket. Here's your meal ticket. Now, we don't want you, associating and, rubbing shoulders with these inner city folks, because we need them in that position. You got yours, you gone. You promote other messages that don't help us. You promote other people who don't help us. And I just been thinking about this the last couple of days, and that situation down in Atlanta has always resonated with me, because even back then, I was asking myself, why? In all the places in the country, why here in Atlanta? Because they have, amongst their population, the most black millionaires than anywhere out in the country. And I was, like I said, I was wondering, I was like, how can this possibly be? Are we that lost And that's what I used to think, like, man, are we that lost that nobody's paying attention to this? That nobody is on the radio championing this cause. That no preachers are in the pulpit saying, hey, we need to raise money to make sure these schools have exactly what they need. Nah, it's you know, these are just small examples of what to me is like the most craziest, insane, indoctrinated, brainwashed, Uncle Thomas behavior that I could just point to and say, yo, why would I listen to y'all? This is a scenario right there that occurred, none of y'all addressed it amongst your own people, but you want me to listen to you, take you serious. Hey, man, I digress. I just wanted to put that out there this morning, man. Give y'all something to think about on this election. What is this, Tuesday? Election Tuesday, man. And I just want to see what happens at the end and see who gets in there, who don't get in there. But anyway, man, I love y'all. Want y'all to have a good day, man. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one. But tell a friend to tell a friend. And I'll get back at you.